All right, one of the craziest things that ever happened to me was being in Kona, Hawaii in the summer of 2011. This teaching erupts. It's on the culture shift. It's this series. We didn't even know what it was called at the time. We were just teaching these principles of the kingdom. I remember I was in this awesome place. It was Kona Coffee, something like that. I'm with Andy Bird from Youth with a Mission. We're down there. We're like, what are we going to teach in this first circuit rider school? And Matthew 5, 6, and 7, this whole attitude that Jesus is explaining, this lifestyle, these cultures that he's carrying, all of a sudden start coming to life. We said, man, let's just start teaching cultures of the kingdom. And they were, in the time, it's like they were called the 5 fingers of freedom. And we literally would hold our hands up and say, do you guys know the 5 fingers of freedom? And what they were is the culture of the unoffendable heart. There was no offense in the kingdom, total radical forgiveness. So that blows up. Then the next culture was the culture of the radical servant. It explodes with the understanding of that construct that we're servants in the kingdom. It wasn't like dry teaching, where you're like, here's all the verses and, do this. There was so much laughter, there was so much joy, there was so much growth. Then we did the culture of radical love. We did the culture of the surrendered heart, the culture of the courageous heart of Christ, and the culture of faith. And the culture of faith was crazy. I mean, I remember being there and just all of a sudden we came into contact with the viral air that we breathe of unbelief. And it wasn't about condemnation or like, oh, I feel so bad. It was, oh my gosh, faith. Faith is more rare than we considered. We need to be a people of great faith in this day. And that became the God Can, God Does, God Will series. It was a 1-part drum. It was the culture of faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. It was those kinds of rhythms in this, what I call kind of this grassroots sound, like a thunderous roar of we want to live by new cultures. And here's where it all kind of lands. A lot of times when you think about strategy, that's a fun subject. How are we going to do something? What are some of the tactics and decisions we need to make, and how are we going to do it? How are we going to bake this cake, so to speak? But when you talk about culture will always triumph over any sort of strategy. When you're living in the kingdom cultures of Jesus Christ, strategy is easy. When you're carrying the heart, the kingdom heart of Jesus, figuring out what to do with your life is easy. And that's what struck, without us knowing it was going to struck. We weren't even smart enough to know that when we teach the cultures, strategies would come from heaven and we'd start going across the nation and carry the love or in brave love, or all of a sudden stadiums would start erupting in the nation. We never had that in our mind. We were just like, let's be unoffended. Let's live with radical love. And that's what this series is. It's going to connect your heart with these short teachings on the culture shift of all of the 5 fingers of freedom. I look forward to doing it. I look forward to what's going to come out of your life. And here's the crazy part is, probably God right now is knocking on your door with something insane, something that is so cataclysmic that He is going to do through your life. And He's doing an alignment. What's the alignment? It's the culture shift. Do it with Jesus' heart. Get His heart beating in your chest. Man, all that to-do list will become explosive when we're carrying kingdom culture. Okay, we'll talk to you throughout this series. I'm looking forward to it.